Hi, thanks for watching BSGcast. I'm Nat, he's Matt, and let's get started.
All right, 2 down and 8 to go. This episode was called A Disquiet Follows My Soul.
Wow.
And wow, Disquiet barely begins to cover what follows the souls on BSG.
Oh God, tell me about it. But first, let's talk about Fan of the Week.
Yes, that's right. We've got a great contest going on right now with cPanel for the 5 BSGcast live episodes from the awesome frack party in LA.
Yes.
And we're giving away a 32-inch LCD
Woo-hoo!
HD TV.
Which is awesome, and there's one more week to leave comments on those episodes, and then we'll be picking 5 favorite comments and drawing a winner from those. So maybe it'll be you.
And of course, Alienware is back. We're doing 10 more shirts to give away during these 10 episodes, and one huge gaming machine.
You guys heard about this?
Yeah, worth about $2,000.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. So leave your most pensive and insightful comments on bsgcast.com and win some killer toys.
Okay, there was a lot going on in the second episode of this final run-up to the finale, and holy crap.
A lot of setup, actually. A lot of plot setup. And you know what? We found out where Gaeta's webisodes fit into the storyline, which is kind of cool.
We found out that Ty has told everyone about Ellen.
And we found out that there's one fewer and one more hybrid baby than we thought.
So let's break it down a bit.
First, let's talk babies.
All right, so one thing we're sure about, Athena and Hilo still have a human and Significant 7 pairing.
Exactly.
As far as we know, nobody's taken that away
There's been
from
no
us.
real development on that storyline yet, but we know that that is so far a concrete, yes, knowledgeable thing. Okay, the second thing, Ty and Caprica. They have a baby in this episode. I mean, we knew they were having one before, but that whole ultrasound scene going on,
that pretty much
confirms it, right? So we have one of the 7 original Cylons that we saw, and one of the final 5 can apparently procreate.
Now, we have some other interesting math going on here I don't particularly like. Callie minus Tyrrell plus hot dog equals retcon. As far as I'm concerned, that's total retroactive continuity, and this is why. Moore did not know where the series was going at the end of season 2, and that's when Callie and Chief hooked it up. So, as far as I'm concerned, we just had the writers take away from us a final 5/human hybrid. But the question isn't, oh, why'd you do that? The question is why.
Well, true. I mean, like at the end of the first 10 of this season, that's a question that we were asking. We were like, oh wow, I mean, final 5 humans can mate. That's so cool. What does that mean to the overall scheme of things? And now, do we even question it anymore?
Yeah,
We're just kind of taking that away from us.
We've got a scenario where Ellen and Ty were together for the longest time and didn't have a baby.
Which makes you wonder, do final 5s procreate with each other?
Yeah, no, they had a whole life together. But then you look at Anders and Tori. They were together for, I don't know, a week or 2, and they don't seem to have anything going on. So it does beg some interesting questions about compatibility across the board. And the only reason we're thinking of this at all is because the Significant 7 Cylons make such a big deal of the fact that they can't procreate.
They can't procreate amongst each other.
So this whole who's having babies with who thing is really important, especially considering the fact that the writers just stole a baby from us. That's interesting.
So Adama and Roslin are obviously very tired in this episode, and they want to be relieved of their burdens. Through this whole episode, that's the sense you get from both of them. They're just like, I don't want this life. Like, please get me out of my situation.
And you know what? Laura really realizes that her part has been played. There was all this pressure on her to be this dying leader, and well, she's done that, and it led them to nothing. Nothing at all. And now she just feels like, I'm going to be hated in this position.
Yeah.
I want my life back. I just want to live.
Yeah,
and,
I want to enjoy myself for what little time I have.
And the end of the episode was possibly the most beautiful, happy moment that we've had in episodes and episodes and episodes. And it was so good to see them get together.
Matt always
really
loves when they're together.
I do. They belong together.
But really, I mean, like, even the whole Adama, like, from the very beginning, just the mundaneness of his life.
Yeah.
You could just tell, like, everyone lacks hope. Like, there's no more hope or faith left anywhere,
He's just brushing his teeth,
washing
the
his shower, doing some work, like picking up garbage.
And all his old man grunts that he's making as he's going around. It's just such a boring, depressing life that they lead. And now there's no hope.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, it was a great commercial beat when the Tillium ship disappears and he says, some days I just hate this job. And I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah,
it was a great moment of just levity. Okay, so Zarek asked a very good question. What the hell hell is Lee's job? You know?
We don't know.
He's obviously a quorum member.
Yeah,
right.
but somehow he's more important than the rest of them because he gets to be one of the 3
conference.
people that are at the press conference and speaks on behalf of Roslin.
Yeah, so it does beg a good question. And the reason that Zarek was relieved of his position and Lee was put in as interim president in the first place was because it didn't seem like Adama was going to acknowledge or respect a Zarek presidency in Laura's absence.
Exactly.
So, you know what? If they're looking at taking out Adama, if they're looking at taking him out of the equation, then all of a sudden, Zarek as president is an option.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. And that the whole alliance is hinging on this idea of full citizenship.
Oh my gosh, the alliance with the Cylon.
Yes.
What a great place to take the story. And I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I know a lot of people are very angry about it, and obviously characters are very angry about it, but it makes sense. I mean, the Cylons are giving humans their technology.
And you know what? The Cylons are even more homeless than the humans are right
They
now.
really
Those rebel
are.
Cylons have nowhere to go. And the humans at least have a home. They've built something out of their ragtag fleet. And joining the fleet is an option.
It's pretty ballsy to ask for full citizenship.
But they're giving up some great technology, and it has put Gaeta on a rampage.
Oh my god!
Him going crazy on Starbuck, him going into that meeting, and it was interesting. We were really curious.
Angry. Even in the hospital.
Yeah,
was
so bitter
Doc
about all the
so
toasters who
bitter.
needed all their.
That get priority over him.
Yeah, you can see why he's really getting pissed off with that and the webisodes.
Yeah, it's just too bad though, because I mean, like I've always loved Gaeta because he's always been this diplomatic character. I feel like I could relate to him because I always feel like he's able to see both sides of the situation.
And we
at
cared
this point,
so much about him when he was in that airlock and he was going to get tossed out. And then I love the fact that he mentioned, like,
That's
it is
Kara,
pretty
yeah.
absurd that there was the wife of a Cylon and 2 Cylons that were about to throw him out of an airlock. And it's nice when the show recognizes its own absurdity in that case because it makes it feel more real. But you know what? This mutiny that he's working on is a very...
He's a jaded man.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is.
Ever since he lied on the stand, he's been going down a bad
downhill,
path.
and then with the webisodes, that was kind of like the final straw. Because even in the webisodes, he was okay with 8. You know, like he was getting along. He wanted to be on her side and help her out, and then all of a sudden,
and then he's just had too much. And it's funny because
Yeah.
Gaeta always accidentally, for his own reasons, winds up helping Zarek.
Yeah.
Whether it was the election that he all of a sudden called foul on, or whether it's this mutiny
that he's
it's
apparently
very
drumming
strange
up. Yeah,
that he's a
pretty
partner
crazy.
in. Now, one thing that was interesting in that meeting was that Tyrell and Tigh both have very different repercussions to becoming a Cylon.
Absolutely. Tyrell seems to have lost who he was as, Galen Tyrell. He's kind of not forgotten, but just doesn't know who he is anymore.
He's been
and seems
distanced
to be
from everyone.
Well, exactly. Even his own kid doesn't
his
seem
wife
to be
died, his
own.
kid's no longer his
And if
kid.
anything, I feel like
Lost his
he
job.
sees himself more as a Cylon.
Yeah, well, he sees
He
himself
speaks
as someone...
on behalf of them.
Yeah, he sees himself as someone who has no one, and so would rather have Cylons than no one. Whereas Tigh is totally getting the best of both worlds. He's EXO, he's chummy with Adama still, and he's sleeping with Trisha Helfer.
I know, he hooked up with Helfer and has a baby on the way.
So I've got to say, Michael Hogan has definitely got a great character arc.
Jeez.
Now, let's do a little bit of theory waxing for a moment. We still got some fishy characters.
Yeah,
now that Ellen is our final Cylon, and we're not saying we're happy with that.
No, not at all. And I still need to be convinced some more on why the heck we would want her.
Yeah,
to be
this
the
episode
final
didn't help with that
Cylon.
at all.
No, not at all. But anyway, we have Starbuck, who we still don't know what the heck is going on with her. And who else has been kind of a fishy character that has vision?
Baltar has been a great red herring. We've been thinking, oh, maybe Baltar's the Cylon, maybe Kara's the Cylon.
Yeah.
And now that those have been revealed, it leaves us with an interesting question. What are they?
Exactly,
What do you
who
guys
knows?
think? I'd love to hear some more theories.
Because we know clearly that there's something different about them, right? There's something a little special, a lot special, but what? So yeah, we would love to hear what you have to say about that, because we were talking about it today and it's just like, holy smokes, it's crazy.
Yeah, maybe these characters that seem
There's
to
a
have
lot
died,
of similarities.
died.
I mean, we know there's a lot of similarities between the two, but why? So think about it. Food for thought.
So we're going to call that a BSGcast, check, and look next week because we're going to be putting up 2 BSGcasts. One of them will be announcing our cPanel winner, so you guys go out and make some comments on those 5 episodes, and we'll be doing a BSGcast for The Oath, our next episode, where things look to get pretty hairy.
Haha.